Hey Rise Sisters, I am at my mother's house. We're playing like the Where's Waldo game, except where's Carla? So the thing I wanted to talk with you guys about today as it relates to the Calm journey is a little bit more about alignment. So if you've gone through the workshop, you'll remember that is the second phase of the Calm transformation. And the big thing is that people have to get through really understanding in that first clarity phase what's changing, why we're changing, and what's at risk if we don't change, along with what's going to stay the same before we can jump into alignment. Because alignment is all about making that personal decision to engage. So here's the tricky part with alignment. It is the hardest one of the calm phases when you're trying to facilitate a change in other people, because it requires them to actually make a decision to engage in the change, either that you're offering with the transformation in your business or the things that you want people to do differently. So in that phase, it's super important to remember a couple of things. So the first one is this, that engagement simply means they've made a decision to engage. So a lot of times we think they have to be super excited about it. They have to think that, this is the best thing ever, especially when it comes to our business. We really want them to feel that way. In order for them to go down the journey, though, they don't necessarily have to just be over the moon about it. They simply have to make a decision to engage. And the what's in it for me, it can be very, very different from person to person. And that's that thing that we need to know before we're able to make that commitment, that decision to try or to do something new. And sometimes the thing that's going to give us that push to try something new is that we don't want the consequences of not doing it, right? So, it's one thing to say, oh yeah, I want to do XYZ because it's going to get me to this place. But sometimes it is the negative consequences that we want to avoid. So for me, I get up and I exercise every morning, not because I necessarily feel great after I exercise, but because I don't want to not have the core strength I'm going to need when I'm 75 years old. And so that really motivates me to keep doing the things that I'm doing, is, kind of beating those negative consequences, right? So if you think about it from a product or service perspective, I've got my templates out on Etsy for Facebook groups for women. So all the posts that you guys see me put over in the Sparkle and Rise, those engagement posts, I've got a package of 400 of them that I have out on my Etsy shop. And one of the ways that I get folks to engage and purchase those is by highlighting what they can avoid. So one of the things that they can avoid is hours and hours of creating those darn posts themselves. So, you think about, it's going to save you hundreds of hours of time and frustration and trying to figure out, what engagement posts you can use to engage your community. And that is enough to get folks over that hump of actually purchasing or, making that decision to engage. So when you think about alignment, remember the two pieces. One is what's in it for me can be very different for different people. And sometimes they're not necessarily going to be excited about it, but that's okay. Because if they engage, then you've got them through that barrier point, so you can now move on to teaching them new skills and how to be proficient so that they can reinforce that change. So anyway, that is my little tip for alignment for you for today. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. If you're here in Arizona, it's so gorgeous. This is the time of year we live for. So anyway, hope you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and we'll be seeing you over in the Facebook group. Bye-bye.